Hello everybody and welcome to TJ's Lego Room, and today I'm excited to show you my BB tank. Now this started when I saw the concept art for the Rise of Skywalker, and they had a BB-8 that they had taken and blown up, super huge, and replaced the head with a tank turret with a bunch of cannons on it. Now, as cool as it kind of looked, it wasn't very practical and didn't really fit in any kind of a storyline. It'd be like, whoa, where the heck did that come from, right? Well, I can tell you where it came from. It came from someone's mind. And from my mind, I took the challenge to say, can you make an actual tank that would look good in Star Wars, that would actually serve a purpose and had a reason for existing? Well, I give you this. So this is my version of the BB tank. I call it the BT-34-C. BT stands for brute tank because the thing is actually nearly indestructible in universe, and I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. I've got a whole story for you, all right? Just a couple of things to cover before we get started, though, on that story. The instructions are available on rubricable.com right now, and I've decided to put the instructions up for free for you because I want everybody to be able to build this. This is really fun. So you're welcome, Galaxy. Another side note is if you go to the Rubricable site, you'll see that I don't just have the Coruscant ball as a BB tank, but I also made one more, Naboo, using the dark blue and sand green. So this should be exciting. Should see some cool innovation. I did put both of them up separately as instructions because I did use a lot of different pieces on the Naboo one than the Coruscant, and so I felt like it definitely made sense to make two different ones because I think you'll have a little bit more variety for building, and I did use quite a few different pieces on it, so that's justification in my book. But anyway, I do have a couple things. I wanted these things to be able to stand up by themselves, but Lego is very hard to balance. So you can see it does have the little ski on the back, and I also have just a little clear stand here. And the reason I have that is because it's hard to balance unless I do it on the first try, then it's fine. But it does tend to want to kind of lean this way or that, which is fine if you want to take pictures with it turning or doing some banking maneuvers and things like that. But if you want it to stand up straight, you can either try to balance it on a softer surface like my table here, or you can use the stand and that'll keep it vertical for you. Not a huge issue. But in the meantime, I have a story for you if you want to stick around. If not, thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time. But stick around for a story if you want to know why this kind of tank would exist in Star Wars. I have some fun in store for you, okay? All right, so on the planet Crait, as we saw in episode 8, the original rebels who started the base on Crait long ago found a very curious material. This material was extremely dense, so dense, in fact, that it created small gravity wells around it, and it would absorb all kinds of different materials into its mass. Now, its unique properties made it near impervious to energy and projectile weapons. It was so dense and so compacted together that you couldn't actually penetrate it once it had hardened, right? So the rebels decided to experiment on this material to try to figure out if they could use it to plate their vehicles or use it as body armor for their troops, because an indestructible material, awesome. Well, aside from being super heavy, it also didn't really like to change shape. And all they were ever able to do was to flatten one side of its natural, spherical shape. And it broke the machine that they were trying to do that. So they kind of mothballed it, put it up on the shelf, and forgot about the material for a while. Until one day, while working on a repulsor lift repair, a rebel technician who was near a stockpile of the material discovered that it can move easily under the influence of a repulsor. An incremental experiment ensued, melting more and more of the material into a solid sphere, which, no matter what its size was easily moved by a single person holding a repulsor lift emitter. Of course, it took a lot longer to develop a means to utilize a bunch of heavy, indestructible spheres, but with determination and creativity, they eventually landed on the modified BT-34C, commonly called the BB tank. The ball and front design was chosen due to the near indestructible nature of the ball material. This protects the rest of the craft and still allows for rapid mobility. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get these words out as best I can. Because of the ball material's special interaction with repulsor lift technology, repulsors were placed on either side and on the rear and were used to steer the ball around like a BB unit. And since repulsor lifts require very little power to operate, the two power generators on the rear section of the craft are dedicated mostly to the two large cannons on either side of the ball. A small shield generator is also located on the rear of the craft to protect the pilot from stray shots or flanking maneuvers, but it wouldn't be enough to stop some of the larger munitions or larger blasts like from the ATM-6. Couldn't really handle that on the shield generators, although that's why the ball's in front, is they could definitely take that. While originally criticized for the placement of the cockpit, as I was when I designed it, the pilots quickly got used to the unique heads-up display system that rendered the ball kind of invisible while they pilot it. Multiple sensors under the cannons provide data for the heads-up display, or HUD. They track enemies, obstacles, map the topography, the landscape, and create kind of a virtual windscreen in front of the pilot as though they were piloting a traditional craft. Unfortunately, when the dwindling resistance in Episode 8 took control of the base during the Battle of Crait, they closed the main hangar door for the base, which prevented them from being able to use these, if they had even been able to find them, tucked away in one of the offshoot caves. As a side note, the color of the ships in universe, I thought, while they're able to be painted, some unique colors could be achieved by heating the metal, and by using varying degrees of heat and then cooling them rapidly, you kind of lock in a desired look and some cool kind of patterns in the actual dense metal there. So another couple fun details is while these planet spheres are not perfectly painted, it doesn't look just like Coruscant, you got some clouds and stuff on there. I thought that could kind of be like scratches from running around after it got painted, or possibly picking up some debris and stuff. And what's really fun is on the Naboo tank, if I zoom out just a little bit here for you, the clouds tend to go in one direction with the spinning of the ball. So they kind of all go, for the most part, in this direction vertically. And so it's like, oh, it actually kind of works that way for me. That was kind of fun. So anyway, if you're able to find some new color combinations for the other planets, please let me know, because I've got a couple of them over here. I've got like Camino and Endor, and I would love to see some neat designs and stuff for them. I have a couple other tank designs I might play around with and show you guys later at some point. But in the meantime, I think that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed that little story. I also have that story like written out on Rubricable. So hopefully, if you want to, you can go ahead and read it there and leave some comments or some other ideas that you may have. I love hearing what you guys come up with. It's pretty fun to see the inspiration that you guys draw from me. So until next time, we will catch you in another video in TJ's Lego Room.